Oh, come here. If you were told by the government you had 24 hours to prep, get your preps ready, it's gonna hit the fan, what would you do? Where would be the first place you go? What would you do? What would you buy? What would you steal? Would you run to a bug out location? Would you go to Walmart? Would you go to a gun shop? Now, remind you, you only have the cashes in your pocket, your credit cards, things you'll legitimately actually spend. Otherwise, you gotta steal it. So, again, what would you do? Now, think about this. We don't get no alerts. You may only have 24 hours. You may only have 12 hours. We just don't know how long you have. So, in that sense, you should take what you can, buy what you can, be prepared as you can. Well, that way, you can be ready for it. We don't have the luxury of knowing when it's going to happen. Nobody has the luxury of knowing. It's just not possible. Now, they said they can give us warnings about hurricanes, which they do. Tornadoes, to a point, they do. They claim that they give us warnings on volcanoes. I guess they do to a point. Is that going to be all volcanoes? All storms? What you doing there, huh? It's hard to say. So at the end of the day, you just need to be prepared. And as right here, we can't forget about these. The pets, the dogs, the felines. As much as this feline just sits here, if anybody comes on this land, and she's not even my dog, she walks down the street, she will let me know as soon as she walks on my land anytime in the later day. Well, why is that? Because she knows that she gets fed while she's here, she gets watered while she's here, and she gets taken care of while she's here. So, if she is here, she protects the land. If she's home, she protects the land. That's what she does. Do I mind feeding her? No. Do I mind giving her a bowl of water? No. Because if she's sitting here on my porch, 2 o'clock in the morning, which she does sometimes, or she'll be laying out there in my yard, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and if somebody comes near it, she starts barking. And you will hear her barking. I don't care how deep of sleep you are, you will hear her. She looks at it this way. It does not matter where she's at, she will protect it. She knows once lights go out, it's her job to protect. Now she goes back and forth from my house and their house. Sometimes she's up here for a day, sometimes she's up here for a week. There's been times she's been up here for 2 or 3 weeks. And there's times where she's gone for 2 or 3 weeks. But I know when she's here, she's not going to allow anybody on my land. And she will not just leave this land at night. She doesn't come at night. She doesn't leave at night. Wherever she's at when the lights go out and the sun goes down, that's where she's at all night. So I don't have to worry about that. She likes food. She's a big puppy. She likes her food. So we gotta make sure that we have food for them. If not, they ain't giving no help. That's for sure. So, we cannot forget about the little felines over in our lives. They're important too. Now, she's a big puppy. I call her a puppy, she's really not. But, I don't know, somewhere between about 100 pounds, give or take. She gets thirsty, she drinks a lot. She can eat a lot too. My dogs are in the house right now. That's where they stay at night. But this one, nope, she stays outside. But either way, remember folks, 24 hours. That's all you may have. When you're watching this video, think about that. 24 hours from now, it may happen. What do you have? What do you need? That's the biggest question. What do you need? What you have when it happens, basically what you're going to have. Yes, you can try to shoot down a Walmart, Kroger's, Food Line, whatever it may be. But just remember, everybody else is doing the same thing. How much are you really going to get? And then again, are you going to get robbed in the process? That's the next question. Do you got enough ammo? You get enough food, enough water, enough medical? Do you have fuel? Do you have gasoline? Do you have oil? Do you have firewood in case you need it? Do you have a way to heat your house? Do you have a way to keep your house cool? Fans. If you have livestock, do you have livestock feed? These are all the questions you got to put down. And take yourself a piece of paper, start writing it down. This is what I have. I have chickens, pigs, dogs, so on. How much food do you have for each one of them? How much food do you have for you? Break it down. Me, Mary, Beth, Peter, Paul, Jim, Bob. Every individual person in your house, put this on the paper. Then start breaking down the meals you have. How much food you have. How much medical equipment you have. The Jim Bob is outside cutting wood. He gets hurt. Do you have the supplies to take care of that wound for 2 or 3 weeks? Do you have a way to stop that bleeding? If Mary Beth ends up pregnant, do you have the knowledge? Help her with that? Do you have anything medical-wise? Do you have sterilized equipment? Do you even have a pregnancy test? Things we need to know. Things you need to know, and your family needs to know. What do we have? How many batteries do you have? How many sources of light do you have? Communications. CBs, ham radios. You got your little ham radio with a little, bull crap antenna on it that's going to reach your neighbor? Or do you have extended antennas? Mobile mounts? Something you put up in a tree. And folks, you cannot put a mobile antenna up in a tree and think it's going to work. It does not work that way. There's a base antenna for a reason. There's a mobile antenna for a reason. Base antennas work in trees, on your house, so on. Mobile antennas work in your car for a reason. It needs that that piece of metal for the grounding. So don't think you can do that. Mobile antennas do not work good for bases. Now you go out and get the old whips, you can make them work. We're running a few guidelines on it, but need to say, pick yourself up a base antenna for your communications. Depending on what you have, what kind of radio you're talking on, a ham radio, CB, whatever. Depends on what kind of antenna you get. One antenna does not work for everything. There are several types. 10, 11 meter, Antron's fine. 2 meter, no. Totally different antenna. You have to test these things now. Get them up. Start using them now. With CBs and equipment like that, there's a thing called SWRs. If your SWRs are not low, 1.1, 1.5, maybe a 2, you can start to have issues. You can actually fry your radio. So don't wait until that 24 hours is up to see what you really have. Get your antennas up now. Get your mobile antennas, your mobile radios installed in your mobile. Get your bases hooked up, your bases, your ham radios. I have little portable ham radios, Bowfangs. The 5Us, and they're great radios. But I still have a base unit in my house where I can communicate with the motor radios to my house throughout my property. Because there's parts of my property where the radios might not communicate back and forth. Or even to my farmhouse, which is 3 miles away. There's a base radio there, base radio here, mobile's here, mobile's there, handhelds both places. And you just don't wait. Get your setups now. And it's really important. Leave them in the comments. Tell me what kind of radios you have. If you got CB, ham radios, both. Are they hooked up? Are they not hooked up? What kind of antennas you're running? Mobile or base. If you're on the radio now, let me know what channel or frequency you're on. I'll see if we can communicate. Leave comments, like I said. If you have a question, ask me. I'll answer it. I don't know everything, but I know quite a bit about everything. I don't know everything about everything, but I know a lot about everything. Or I ain't scared to look it up. Think about it, people. It's at that point in time where you may have 24 hours, you may have 12 hours, you may have 48 hours. I can't tell you what you got. Nobody can. Stop waiting. Get prepared. If it's only 24 hours left now, you're out of time. Point blank. Don't tell me that, you're going to wait for it to happen, run to your bug out location. My motto is that if you wait until it happens to get to your bug out location, and if your bug out location is any distance away, you're not getting there. You're not getting 100 miles, most likely, when it hits the fan. You're most likely not getting 50 miles when it hits the fan. 20 miles, that's maybe doable. But everybody's going to be in a panic, uproar, trying to get that last minute shopping and fuel up and this and that, and it's going to be hectic. And they're not going to be paying, they're going to be robbing Do you want to be involved in that mess? No. You want to be right where you're at today, or sit back, relaxing. You know, maybe while you still have a little bit of internet and whatever you can do, people will be posting this stupid shit of what's going on down in the towns or whatever, and the little cities and whatnot, and you sit back and shake your head and say, "Glad that's not me." I'm glad I was prepared. Thank you, folks. That's all today.